I want to thank the San Francisco Apartment Association for allowing the law firm of Fried and Williams to sponsor today's membership meeting. This meeting is very special because it will highlight people who want to be your public servants and represent your interests at City Hall. Tonight will also include discussion about some important city ballot measures and statewide initiatives that will impact on all residential rental property owners. My name is Clifford Fried, and for those of you who don't know me, I have been working with this association as an attorney and a member since 1985. I've experienced the full evolution of landlord-tenant law in the city from 1985 through today. When I first started working with landlords in San Francisco, you were permitted to file your own eviction cases in small claims court. You didn't need to hire a lawyer, and your eviction notices didn't have to be perfect, and they didn't have to say that much. That has all changed. Today, it's practically impossible for landlords to represent themselves in court or draft their own eviction notices. Most attorneys in the city are not qualified to handle unlawful detainer actions. Attorneys now must specialize in handling San Francisco evictions. Take a look at the names at the back of SFAA's monthly magazine. You will see over 30 lawyers specializing in evictions. In 1985, there were only one or two of us that you could call on for help. Things have changed. When I first started working with San Francisco landlords, there were 11 just causes for eviction. And with a little bit of skill and diligence, a landlord could prevail on just about any one of those 11 just causes. Now it's impossible, nearly impossible, to evict, even for non-payment of rent. When I started working with landlords in San Francisco, there was only one free law firm for tenants, and that was Snifflaugh. Now there are many tenant lawyers, some subsidized by the city, who are willing to work for free. When I first started working with landlords in San Francisco, there was little concern about being sued for bad eviction notices or a dripping faucet. Now, a bad notice and even peeling paint can get you sued. That's why we all carry wrongful eviction insurance. At least I hope you do. When I first started working with landlords here, there were public servants in City Hall that had your backs. Sure, there were supervisors and mayors who catered to tenant interests, but at least the doors of our lawmakers were open to us, and we had some say at City Hall. We can't be so sure nowadays. Our temporary rent ordinance in San Francisco, enacted as an emergency measure back in 1979, has been amended numerous times over the years. Each time it's amended, a landlord's right to increase rents, evict tenants, or manage their properties as they see fit have greatly diminished. Like taxes, rent laws don't go away. They just get worse for you. There's a new saying: 3 things in San Francisco are certain: death, taxes, and rent control. This year, we were all hit hard with the COVID-19 pandemic. Our lawmakers used this pandemic as an excuse to pass new laws freezing rents and evictions in the city. These laws did nothing to protect property owners from losing rents. To the contrary, these laws made sure that you may never see your lost rents again. Non-payment of rent evictions are now very difficult and in many cases impossible to prosecute. Did you ever think you would not be able to evict a tenant for not paying their rent? Well, that's the current situation in the city. Like every other landlord-tenant law that San Francisco has ever seen, these eviction moratoria will never sunset. They will be with us in some form or another forever. Laws regulating your rental business will become increasingly more complex in the months ahead. But you shouldn't rush to sell your properties. You develop a property in San Francisco, and you take pride in taking care of your buildings and in taking care of your tenants. I'm extremely proud of those of you who worked out forbearance agreements with your tenants during the pandemic, and to those of you who refused to evict your tenants who have fallen on hard times. You are sharing the burden of these hard times. Good for you. Keep your properties, but also keep your attorneys close by for assistance. The attorneys at Fried and Williams have been helping San Francisco landlords for almost as long as the city has had eviction and rent controls. Our staff of 17 people focus on helping San Francisco property owners and managers with evictions of all kinds, rent increases, and resolving disputes with tenants. Having practiced in this area for so long, our attorneys are the most experienced. We have represented the largest landowners and managers in the city, and we have represented the smallest landlords who rent out single rooms in their homes. We represent landlords in the Superior Court by prosecuting evictions and defending tenant lawsuits for habitability, wrongful eviction, and fair housing claims. We challenge rent board decisions in court and judge decisions in the courts of appeal. You can find out more about our services and our attorneys by visiting our website. Our website also includes valuable information for San Francisco landlords, including analyses of old laws and updates on recent changes in the law. I want to thank you for attending today's meeting. Now get out there and vote. And remember, you're voting not only for yourself, but all the other landlords attending this meeting. Thank you.